So in this video, I'm going to be discussing the top 5 ways to market a pressure washing business in 2026. I'm going to be ranking them from 5 to 1, 1 being the most effective, 5 being the least effective, but by no means ineffective. So just because it's not at the top doesn't mean it can't work for you in your business. All 5 methods that I'm going to be discussing are proven to work in the exterior cleaning industry, okay? So even if you can't afford to implement all 5 right away, because I appreciate not everyone has the funds or means to begin with, if you can implement a couple of them, you'll be ahead of a lot of people in this industry, in my opinion, because marketing is neglected massively in the pressure washing industry. If you can implement all 5, then you'll be way ahead of most people, and you'll get more eyeballs into your business each day, and ultimately more leads, and therefore more work. Okay, so before I get into all 5, I just want to talk about, well, first of all, who I am. If you've not seen any of my videos before, my name is Michael. I currently run a pressure washing business in the UK. I help other cleaning businesses to grow using paid ads and automations as well. And I also know a lot of businesses in this industry. Some are doing really well, over £1 million. Some are one-man bands, doing enough to get by and they're happy with their lifestyle. But I can tell you that all the successful companies in this industry, they will be doing these 5 things. They'll be investing in marketing. They'll be doing the things that you need to get more leads into your business each day. Because if you're not getting leads into your business each day, you won't be growing. Okay. And I want to talk about this. So first of all, marketing in general in the pressure washing industry and the exterior cleaning industry as a whole is neglected massively. And it's one of the reasons I got into this industry is because I saw a gap in the market, because there's so many exterior cleaning companies, probably in your area, in the UK, America, wherever, and most of them just don't take marketing seriously enough. And this isn't like a bashing session, but all you have to do is go onto these Facebook groups about pressure washing, exterior cleaning, and most of the topics are about cleaning, chemicals, tools, this, that and the other. They're all arguing of which way to clean a surface. And for me, once you know how to clean a surface and you're good at what you do, you know your chemicals, you've got the kit, you know your techniques, you do a good professional job, that's a given, your main focus should then be on marketing. Because, and I've said this before, you can have the best kit, the best techniques, you can be the best cleaner in your area, but if no one knows you exist and you've got no eyeballs on your business, no leads coming in, what is the point? You're much better off, in my opinion, sorting the cleaning side early on, become a good cleaner, that's a given, and then all your focuses should be on how can I get more leads into my business? And the way you do that is by marketing. So learn your marketing, invest in your marketing, find different ways that you can implement into your business to grow it. Because ultimately that's what will bring you more money and that's what will help you scale. So I remember when I first started, right, I did like a deep dive on all the competitors in my area. If you haven't done that, I recommend you doing that. And I just saw that most of them just were not marketing, really poor websites, no paid ads, just no visible online presence. And I'm thinking, how are these guys going to grow if they're not willing to invest in it? So it's all about image. You have to have substance to it. Like I said, you have to be able to do a good job. But ultimately, how can you portray yourself in the world that will attract more work to you? So I'm going to discuss 5 things that will hopefully help that. Like I said, if you can implement all 5, brilliant. If you only implement a couple, that's fine as well. But I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of each and give you my verdict at the end of which one is the best one, which will be ultimately number 1. So with all that, let's get into it. So at number 5, it is leaflets or flyers. So I've put this at number 5. Like I say, it doesn't mean they don't work. It just means it's not as effective, in my opinion, as the ones above it. But let's talk about flyers. So flyers are a great way to get eyeballs on your business at the very start for me. So you'll find a lot of pressure washing companies, when they start out, their go-to is flyers because they're pretty cheap to make. You can design them yourself. And if you have the time, you can distribute them yourself or with your friends and family as well around your local area, in people's houses and stuff, and give them out to people. So it's a nice way to start. So let's talk about the pros of leaflets first. Like I just said, simple and cheap to make. So you can just design these yourself on Canva, or you can get someone to do it on Fiverr, or anyone who's like savvy, even just simply with graphic design can draw you one up. It's just a simple one to get you made. So it's easy to design, pretty cheap to print. So if you design it in Canva, I think Canva now do delivery, so you can just design it and then click print for me and deliver, and they deliver them to your house. So that's great as well. There's other companies like Instaprint, Vistaprint, there's all sorts out there, but it's pretty cheap. So cheap, simple to make, and if you have the time to begin with, which you might do, you can distribute them for free, so that's a winner as well. So there are 3 pros, and let me show you this first of all. So this is one that I don't personally flyer anymore. I did at the start, but I'll go on to this in a bit. But just something simple with a flyer. It can be a big call to action, which is important. So this says, call for a free quote, and it's a number. List of services, before and afters, and then just a QR code, scan for more information that goes to the website. You don't need lots of text on it. You don't need loads and loads of images. Just something simple, call to action, what you do, and just an example of it before and after. Really strong. Oh yeah, one more thing as well. With the flyers, please, for the love of God, do not just print on one side. Don't have one side printed and one side left white, because if it falls on its face, people are just going to see a blank piece of paper and they'll be even more inclined to throw it away. So I just have on the back, don't throw me away. You might need me someday on my website. So just in case people might think, oh, yeah, my driveway does need doing, but I'm going to get onto it in a few months' time. So that's just a bit of this isn't a tutorial for leaflets. I want to show you what I do. And what's a nice leaflet. So they're the pros of it, and the cons of it, unfortunately, are the success rate for leaflets are less than 1%. So you can imagine how many leads you need, how many leaflets you need to give out to get an X amount of leads in where you can hit your conversion goal. For example, if your conversion goal for a lead, so if I gave you 100 leads, how many could you convert? Let's just say it's 10%. And let's say you want 20 jobs a month. You're going to need 200 leads because your conversion rate's 10%. Well, how many flyers do you have to send out to get 200 leads if it's a 1%? What's that, 20,000 leaflets? Sorry for maths off there. But so you have to send out about 20,000 leaflets on average to fill your calendar up if you want 20 jobs. That is a lot of flyers. It's a lot of flyers to print. And also it's really expensive, or it can be really expensive to distribute. So the companies like Royal Mail and a few other ones do it. From what I've seen, I've never distributed them before. I know people who have. It can be like £1,500 to £2,000 to distribute 20,000. And you're going to have to do that consistently because the conversion rate's so low. So that's something to consider with leaflets. If you can afford it and you can keep distributing them, I would probably say every quarter to go with the seasons, because your services might change. That's great, but for me, it's a con for me in terms of the price and the conversion rate. And then the other obvious con is that a lot of people do see leaflets as junk mail, so it's probably going to get thrown away. And that's the harsh truth. You know, how many leaflets come through your door? And you see it just as junk mail, and you just don't even look at it, you just throw it away. That's just part and parcel of using leaflets to market. So bear that in mind. They can be effective. Like I said, print easy to design, cheap to print, can distribute them for free at the start. But the cons are really low success rate, expensive to print and distribute so many, quite often tens of thousands, and then obviously can get thrown away. So they're the pros and cons of using leaflets. They can work, of course they can, but that's just something to bear in mind. And that's why I put them at number 5, because in my opinion, more cons than pros, but definitely can work. Number 4 is social media. And by social media, I mean organic social media. People underestimate this a lot, but in my opinion, if you keep your social media engaging and up to date, you'd be surprised of how many organic leads come through there. So, for example, my own social media, every job I film. So I put a camera up in the corner wherever I am, and I just film the whole process, speed it up as a time lapse, put some music over it, and you can just upload that. It's really good content. People love consuming that kind of content. So if you can make, even just one a day of them, or 3 or 4 times a week, people love watching pressure washing videos. They love seeing before and afters. So if you can keep creating that kind of content, keep pushing it out there, the algorithms will eventually take hold of your videos and show it to loads of people. And if you can put the locations in where you're working and hashtag your local area as well, people will see it in your area, and you'll get lots of organic, organic leads coming through. So the pros of that are, obviously, it's free to do. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all free. All you have to do is buy a camera, and if you can't afford a camera, your phone can do the job as well. So really cheap to make, cheap to edit, and easy to edit. You don't have to have really professional software to do it. You can do it on Canva, or like I said, outsource it to Fiverr for really cheap if you want to. So they're the pros of it. The cons of it are, I guess, that you're not going to get as many leads in as if you're doing paid ads. It might take long. It takes a while to establish a social media presence. That's a con. Another con would be if you want quick jobs. So if you need jobs this week, because your calendar's empty, or this, in the next few weeks, this isn't the one that you would use. This is kind of like a long-term solution. Your social media takes a while to build, but when it gets going, it can be really, really powerful. So that would be a con, though. If you need work here and now, this isn't the one for you, but it's one to be on the back burner and just quietly ticking over in the background. So what works on social media? So Reels are really important. So like I said, you can just put your phone up or a GoPro, or I use, I haven't got it with me, it's a Insta 360 camera on a big selfie stick. Put that up in the corner wherever you're working, whether it's behind you when you're cleaning a roof, if it's on the corner of a driveway or a patio, in the gutters when you're emptying them out. Just film the whole thing, speed it up as quick as you can, so it's maybe condensed down to like under 30 seconds. Put some music over the top. Reels work really well, and they can go viral quite quickly once the algorithm gets hold of them. Before and after images, really good, really powerful. Simple before and after image take a picture of it before when it's dirty, and then once it's clean, go in that exact same place and take it again, and you'll see a huge difference there. So those both work really well. You can put long form YouTube content up if you want to. So that works. There's a lot of big content creators in this space who put hour-long videos up, documenting their day. And a big one as well for me is getting in front of the camera. I started doing this early on, and it works because people buy people. So if you can flip the camera around on a job, say, hey, here's where we are today, here's what we're doing, show them the surface, show them what you're doing, and then cut into like a time lapse. That's a really nice behind the scenes video. People will get to know you, and before they're even getting in touch with you, they feel like they know you anyway, so the sale will be a lot easier. So Reels, before and afters, and then you in front of the camera, behind the scenes footage, all work really well on social media and will help you attract more organic leads. So number 3 is Google Ads. Now, I'm not an expert in Google Ads, but I have run Google Ads. I know experts in the industry who I've spoken to, and I know pretty much how they work. And they're at number 3 because they're, in my opinion, they're stronger than leaflets and social media if you want work here and now. So Google Ads are really good because you pay per click. So you only pay when someone clicks on your ad, basically. So assuming all your negative keywords are set up correctly, there'll be the right people who click, because they're not just going to click for no reason. Some people will, but the buyer intent is much stronger. So you only pay when you click, and when the people that do click, quite often they want your service here and now. They're really ready to book. Otherwise, they wouldn't be typing into Google. Google searches aren't pattern interrupt. So social media, paid ads, leaflet and stuff are like you're interrupting their day by putting your marketing in front of them. They're coming to you. Think of it as other methods of putting a fishing rod out and seeing who bites. Google Ads, the fish are coming to you. Bit of a weird analogy, but hopefully that makes it a bit clearer. So your conversion rates are much higher with Google Ads, much stronger. Let's just say if it's 10 to 15% on paid ads and 1% in leaflets, your Google Ads, I can't give you an exact percentage, but for me, it would be somewhere between 30 to 50, much higher, because they're ready and they're keen, because they want it here and now. So it's great if you want work quickly. So put a Google ad out, you can have a job in a few days or in a week or two. So they're really good. They're perfect for local service businesses too. So people will be searching, for example, I'm in Birmingham, roof cleaning in Birmingham. It's great. So then if I have an ad up that's roof cleaning in Birmingham, I will pop up there and then. And if they'll click on it, if they like the website, like what they see, it's a very, very high chance that you're going to convert that sale, convert that lead. So that's why Google Ads work. That's the pros of them. However, for me, there's a few cons now. I think Google have changed a lot lately. And what I mean is they show too many sponsored ads at once. So for example, going back to that example, if you type in roof clean in Birmingham and I had an ad up, they're probably going to show 3, 4, 5 other sponsored ads as well, other Google ads as well, other companies running the similar ads. And it almost becomes lost in the noise. So whereas it only used to show 1 or 2, now they're just showing too many. And it's almost a case of, you might do this yourself, if you search for something, quite often I'd now scroll past the sponsored ones and see who's ranking at the top, who's organically coming up. So that's what I think a con is for Google Ads. It can get lost in the noise and it's not as effective as it used to be, but it can still work. Another con for me is for pressure washing, people like seeing the transformations, so before and after. With Google Ads, obviously it's just text, it's just like a headline on your ad. So there's nothing really to show and to sell it to them. Also, another con of Google Ads is that it's quite confusing for beginners. So I would always use someone who knows what they're doing, pay someone to run Google Ads for you, because there's all these different types of campaigns you can run. There's negative keywords, loads of jargon. If you get them wrong, if they're not set up correctly and you get it wrong, then it's not going to be effective for you. So it's not just something that you can just jump on and set up a Google ad as easy as that. It is quite confusing. Even if you're not a beginner, it's confusing in my opinion. So number 2 is SEO and Google My Business profile. So I've kind of combined the two into this one, but they're both kind of the same thing. And the ultimate goal is to rank higher on Google with this one. So if you don't know what SEO is search engine optimization, and Google My Business, sometimes known as GMB, is your free Google My Business profile listing that you can set up once your business is up and running, basically. And why this method is great is it brings in lots of organic leads. So you rank up Google slowly. The more you put into it, the more you rank naturally in Google. So obviously Google Ads is you pay to be there and it shows up as a paid ad. If you invest in your SEO and you Google My Business time and effort, you will slowly rise up on Google and appear naturally to people who search. And like I said earlier, because so many people, because Google shows so many people's ads now on Google for Google Ads, quite often people scroll past them, scroll through the noise and go and look at who's ranking organically. There's something about just more trust there if someone's there naturally. So that's why SEO and Google My Business is really good, really powerful, because the ultimate goal for marketing is to get leads in organically and naturally without spending anything. That is the goal. You can do all these paid ads, leaflets, whatever, but the dream is to have a constant flow of organic leads, and that's what SEO and the Google My Business profile can give you. So like I just say, pros of this is, well, first of all, Google My Business is free. So you get make a free listing when you set up your business. If you keep updating it with photos, services, updates, videos, whatever, keep it active, keep getting reviews, Google loves that and it'll keep raising you up the local rankings. It's really good, really powerful, free. Yes, it's a bit time consuming, but well worth it. A lot of people neglect the Google My Business profile when it's a free tool, really good. SEO, like I said, it's a bit of a slow burner, but you will rise up organically, and then eventually when you're at a point, you won't have to invest in marketing as much because they're coming in for free. You'll be coming up on hopefully page 1 on Google and lots of organic leads from there, and they keep coming, and that's a winner then. So they're the pros of SEO, really powerful, and Google My Business. Cons are it takes a while. It's not overnight. If you want work now, this isn't the method for you if you need it immediately. But you'll be really happy you did this in say 3 to 6 months time, a year, because it's a slow burner. Let's just say you set up a business, you set up your website, you're on like page 100 of Google. If you invest in your SEO, whether you're doing it yourself or you find someone or pay someone to do it, let's just say in 2 months you might be on page 80, another month 60, 50, and so on. And if you keep doing it, you eventually get there, but it does take a while. So it's a slow burner for sure. It's not immediate work. And another con is that a lot goes into SEO. If you don't know what you're doing and you're not an expert at it, I think you can do it wrong. So there's keywords, there's blogs, there's all sorts that you have to do. Regular content to show Google that you're active and you deserve to be shown on the first few pages. So if you don't know what you're doing, I wouldn't touch SEO. I'd leave it to a professional to do because it's a whole different thing altogether. And now with AI coming in, AI is changing the way that people search as well. So there's that element to it. So the cons are it takes much longer to do. It's not immediate. And like Google Ads, you can get it wrong if you don't know what you're doing. So kind of leave it to the professionals, which will obviously cost you. But it'll be well worth it in the future. You'll be really happy that you did it. So that's why SEO and Google My Business are really high up the list at number 2. And right at the top of the tree, number 1 is Facebook ads. So Facebook ads have completely grown my business from day one, and it's grown other businesses that I've had in the past, and it's grown all the other successful businesses that I know as well. So don't underestimate Facebook ads. The thing is with Facebook ads, right? I'll go on to the cons in a second, but if they're not done right, and it can be small things that people get wrong, but if they get them wrong, they can assume then that Facebook ads don't work. And you'll see in these Facebook groups and on other forums, they'll say, don't bother with Facebook ads, load of rubbish. Got me like 2 leads, spent money, blah, 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 wasted my money. Not true at all. When done correctly, Facebook ads are the most powerful marketing method for your business. I fully believe that, especially for home service-based businesses. Think of all your clientele. Where are they? They're all online. They're all on social media. Yes, there might be some older customers who aren't as tech savvy and on Facebook, but the majority of your customer base are on Facebook every single day and glued to their phones for a lot of it. So it's just a perfect chance to get in front of them. So Facebook ads can work really well, especially for high ticket items like roof cleaning. I've done lots of videos like on my socials and stuff about ads for roof cleaning and Facebook ads in general. But let's go through some of the cons. Let's go through some of the pros. So the pros are, if you get them right, your return on investment can be huge. Let's just take roof cleaning for example. So let's just say you spend £1,000 a month on Facebook ads. Let's just say that, and your average roofing cost is £1,000 for an average job, right? Let's say you get 100 leads. If you convert 10 of them, like 10% of those, you get 10 jobs. If they're priced at £1,000 each, that's £10,000 off £1,000 ad spend. The margins are huge, and even pressure washing, like patios, driveways, whatever. Even if your job is like £200 to £300, your conversion rate's high with them because it's lower ticket. But even if you close like 10 to 20 of them a month, times £200 to £300 off £1,000 ad spend, your returns are massive. And the great thing about it is when you find a winning ad and a winning formula, you just repeat each month, and you know roughly what leads are going to come in. You know your conversion rates, and it just ticks along really nicely, and it makes growth really predictable and easy because you know what works one month, you know it's going to work the next, and the next, and the next, and you can change it based around your services. For the i.e. for the winter, push more gutter ads. In the summer, spring, obviously pressure washing ads. So you know what works, and once let's just say £1,000 ad spend gets you 10 roof cleaning jobs and brings you back 10 grand. Well, there's nothing stopping you then going to spend 2 grand on Facebook ads and getting 20 grand back. That's how it works. Once you know your cost per lead and your conversion rates, you can adjust your spending to either get more work, or if you need less, spend less. It's that simple with Facebook ads. What you put in, you will get back 7, 8, 10 times over. You honestly will, if done correctly. So that's why Facebook ads are so powerful. Big return and predictable, and you can just repeat it each month, and there's no reason to stop Facebook ads. It will fill your calendar really quickly. If you want work here and now, if you want to fill your calendar fast, Facebook ads is the method that you should be doing. So they're the pros. There are obviously cons to it. Cons, for example, being, but I'm open about this and I've said this in other videos, out of 100 Facebook leads, accept that half of them are going to be absolute rubbish. That's just the game. People who aren't interested fill out your form sometimes. Time waster, tire kickers, people looking for the lowest price. You don't want them as your customers. But that's fine. But like I said before, turn that con into a pro. Once you know that 50% are rubbish, focus on the 50% that are good, and there are some golden nuggets in there. And if you can convert them, if you're good at sales, turn that con into a pro. But I will mention that as a con, except that there will be a lot of time wasters in your ads. But if you know that up front, you know the game, you know what you're expecting. Another con would be, if you don't know what you're doing, they can burn you money. So when people say, I've tried Facebook ads, rubbish, didn't work, I'll say, okay, well, what do you do? Oh, I put a tenner behind an ad, I boosted it, and I got like 1 lead. You haven't done Facebook ads correctly then. And I don't mean to sound patronising or having a go at you for trying it, but what I'm saying is if you invest with someone who knows what they're doing and they're set up correctly, they work. But if you don't set them up correctly, they won't work and they'll burn money for you. So that's a con. So the 2 cons for me there, like I said, you will get leads that are a waste of time. And if done correctly, they will burn money and they won't work. But for me, the pros massively outweigh the cons. And that is why Facebook ads, for me, are the #1 way to grow your pressure washing business in 2026. They're so powerful. And I appreciate that you may not have the funds to invest in it right away. But picture it like this. I said this today. What's more expensive? A £600 to £900 ad spend each month for 1 month, or a completely empty calendar. They're the 2 options. So that £600 to £900 investment will bring you back thousands in profit. That's option 1. Option 2, no Facebook ads, no marketing, empty schedule. How do you pay the bills? It's night and day for me. Don't see it as a recurring expense in your business. See it as an investment. You're not out of pocket, say £600, £1,000 each month, because you take out of your profits that you make, you take back the ad spend and put it into next month's one. So you're not paying a new £900 each month on ad spend. You're taking out the profits that you're going to make if they're done correctly. So Facebook ads, great investment, will fill your calendar fast. And if you need any help or you want some advice on Facebook ads, DM me leads or comment down below leads, and I'll be happy to talk to you about that and tell you how I can help you and give you any advice that you can. So those are the top 5 ways to market a pressure washing business in 2026. Let me know in the comments below which ones you've tried, if you have tried any, and which ones are most successful for you. Like I said, these are what I think are the top 5 and what I've seen in other successful businesses in this industry. That's not to say there aren't other methods out there, and that's not to say that like my number one will be your number one. You might be killing it with leaflets or Google ads or whatever. So let me know if you are. It'd be really interesting to hear and to read about that. But like I said, guys, if you can just implement a few of these into your business, you will be ahead of 90 to 95% of the people and your competitors in this industry, because people just do not invest in their marketing. So be ahead of the game. Make sure you know what you're doing with the cleaning. Learn your cleaning. Know your safety. Know your chemicals. Do a good job. But once you do, your mind and your goal should be marketing, getting more leads and more eyeballs onto your business, because once you do, you'll get more work, more leads, more money. Simple as that. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Like I said, comment below which methods have worked for you, and maybe I missed out some methods. I don't know. Let me know if I have. And like I said, comment below leads if you want some help with your Facebook ads too. So thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next one.